Close your eyes for a moment, not to escape the world, but to finally meet yourself without distractions. In a world that constantly demands your attention, your energy, and your presence, being alone can feel uncomfortable, almost frightening. Silence becomes loud, and stillness feels unfamiliar. But what if this space you're running from is actually the doorway to something sacred? What if being alone is not emptiness, but fullness waiting to be discovered? There is a deep misunderstanding in how we view solitude. From childhood, we are taught to associate happiness with company, friends, family, relationships, social validation. And while connection is a beautiful and necessary part of life, somewhere along the way, we begin to believe that being alone means something is missing. That belief quietly grows into loneliness. But the truth is, loneliness is not the absence of people. It is the absence of connection with yourself. When you close your eyes, something shifts. The noise fades. The external world loosens its grip, and you begin to enter a space that belongs only to you. This is where your real journey begins. In that quiet darkness, you are not empty. You are infinite. Thoughts may come and go, emotions may rise and fall, but beneath all of that is a presence that has always been there. Calm, aware, untouched. That presence is you, your true self. You see, being alone is a physical state, but loneliness is a state of mind. You can sit in a crowded room and feel completely alone, misunderstood, disconnected. And you can sit in complete solitude and feel deeply connected, peaceful, and whole. The difference lies not in your surroundings, but in your awareness. The moment you stop resisting solitude is the moment it transforms. What once felt like isolation begins to feel like freedom. No expectations, no judgments, no need to perform or pretend. Just you, as you are. And in that raw, unfiltered space, you begin to see yourself clearly. Your fears, your desires, your wounds, your strength. It's not always comfortable, but it is always real. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding this encounter. They fill every silence with noise, every empty moment with distraction, every uncomfortable feeling with escape. But the more you run from yourself, the more distant you feel from everything else. Because how can you truly connect with the world if you are disconnected from your own soul? Solitude is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It shows you what you've been ignoring. It reveals the parts of you that need healing, the thoughts that need questioning, the beliefs that need releasing. It gently guides you back to your center, where peace doesn't depend on anything outside of you. When you sit alone and close your eyes, you may notice your mind wandering. Memories, worries, regrets, plans, they all come rushing in. This is normal. The mind has been conditioned to stay busy. But if you stay with it, without judgment, without resistance, something beautiful happens. The chaos begins to settle. The waves calm down. And in that stillness, you start to hear something deeper. A quiet voice, a gentle knowing. That is your inner wisdom. This inner wisdom doesn't shout. It doesn't force. It simply waits for you to become still enough to listen. And once you do, it begins to guide you in ways the external world never could. It reminds you of your worth, your purpose, your truth. It shows you that you are not incomplete, not broken, not alone. You are whole, exactly as you are. The idea that you need someone else to complete you is one of the biggest illusions we carry. Yes, relationships can add joy, love, and meaning to life, but they are meant to complement you, not complete you. When you depend on others for your sense of self, you give away your power. But when you find that sense of completeness within, your relationships become healthier, deeper, and more authentic. Being alone becomes a choice, not a burden. It becomes a sacred space where you recharge, reflect, and reconnect. A space where you don't have to prove anything to anyone. A space where you can simply exist. And in that existence, you begin to realize something profound. You are never truly alone. There is a presence within you that has been there through every moment of your life, through every joy, every pain, every success, every failure. It has never left you, never judged you, never abandoned you. It is your constant companion. Some call it the soul, some call it consciousness, some call it divine presence. Whatever name you give it, it is the essence of who you are, and when you connect with it, loneliness dissolves, because you realize that you have always been in the presence of something infinite. This realization doesn't happen overnight. It is a journey, a gradual unfolding. There will be days when solitude feels heavy, when silence feels overwhelming. But if you stay with it, if you keep turning inward instead of running outward, you will begin to experience a shift. You will start to enjoy your own company. You will find comfort in silence. You will discover that the peace you are searching for in the world has been within you all along. Imagine being able to sit alone without feeling restless, to walk alone without feeling incomplete, to exist without needing constant validation. That is freedom. That is inner peace, and it is available to you right now. The world will always be noisy. There will always be distractions, demands, and expectations. But you have the power to step back, to close your eyes, and to return to yourself. And every time you do, you strengthen that connection. You build a relationship with yourself that is unshakable. Because at the end of the day, you are the only person who will be with you through every moment of your life. And the quality of that relationship determines the quality of your experience. So instead of fearing solitude, embrace it. Instead of avoiding silence, welcome it. Instead of running from yourself, come home to yourself. Close your eyes not to escape the world, but to see beyond it, to feel the depth of your being, to experience the presence that has always been there. You are alone, but you are never lonely. Because within you exists a universe of thoughts, emotions, dreams, and awareness. Within you exists a connection to something greater than yourself. Within you exists a peace that no external circumstance can take away. And when you truly understand this, everything changes. You no longer chase people to fill a void. You no longer fear being by yourself. You no longer define your worth by external validation. Instead, you stand in your own presence, grounded, aware, and complete. This is the power of solitude. This is the beauty of being alone. It is not emptiness. It is expansion. It is not isolation. It is connection on a deeper level. So the next time you feel alone, don't rush to escape it. Sit with it. Close your eyes. Breathe. Listen. Feel. And remember, you are not lonely. You are discovering yourself. Close your eyes again. But this time, go deeper. Not just into silence, but into awareness. Not just away from the world, but toward your true self. Feel your breath. Feel your heartbeat. Feel the quiet presence that exists beneath every thought, every emotion, every fear. That presence has no need for validation, no fear of abandonment, no dependence on anything outside of itself. It simply is. And so are you. The truth is, most people are not afraid of being alone. They are afraid of meeting themselves. When the noise fades, what remains is real. No filters, no distractions, no escape. Just you and everything you've been avoiding. Your insecurities, your wounds, your unanswered questions, but also your strength, your wisdom, your untapped power. And here is where everything changes. Because the moment you stop running, the moment you sit with yourself without judgment, something incredible begins to happen. The parts of you that felt broken start to heal. The thoughts that once controlled you start to lose their power. The emptiness you once feared starts to feel like space. Space to grow, to understand, to become. You begin to realize that loneliness was never your enemy. It was a signal. A quiet message telling you that you've been disconnected, not from others, but from yourself. And once that connection is restored, everything shifts. You start to feel complete, not because your life is perfect, but because you are no longer searching for something outside to fix what is inside. You begin to trust yourself, to listen to your inner voice instead of the noise of the world, to find comfort in your own presence instead of constantly seeking it in others. And suddenly, being alone doesn't feel heavy anymore. It feels peaceful. It feels powerful. It feels free. Because now you are not alone with your thoughts. You are in the presence of your truth. There is a sacred strength that comes from this place. A quiet confidence that doesn't need to be loud. A deep peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. You think differently. You feel differently. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. You no longer chase people who don't see your worth. You no longer stay in places that drain your energy. You no longer fear silence, because you've discovered that within silence lies clarity. And clarity is power. You begin to understand that every moment of solitude was preparing you. Every lonely night, every quiet tear, every unanswered question, it was all guiding you back to yourself. Not to break you, but to awaken you. Because sometimes life removes the noise so you can hear your soul. And your soul has been speaking to you all along. In the stillness, it reminds you, you are enough. You are whole. You are not missing anything. You were just distracted from your own completeness. Think about that. All the times you felt alone, you were actually being invited inward. All the moments you felt lost, you were being guided back home. All the silence you feared was filled with answers you hadn't yet learned to hear. And now, you are beginning to hear them. You are beginning to see that your value does not come from how many people surround you, but from how deeply you understand yourself. That love does not start with someone else, it starts within you. That peace is not something you find, it is something you remember. Because it was always there. Right now, in this moment, as you breathe, you are not lacking anything. You are not behind. You are not incomplete. You are exactly where you need to be, becoming exactly who you are meant to be. And the most powerful realization of all, you don't need to be afraid of being alone anymore. Because you've discovered the one presence that will never leave you, yourself. So the next time life becomes quiet, don't rush to fill it. The next time you feel alone, don't mistake it for emptiness. Instead, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and remember this. You are sitting in the presence of your own soul. A presence that has walked with you through every storm, every struggle, every silent battle. A presence that knows your pain, your dreams, your truth. A presence that has never left you, not even for a second. And once you truly feel that, loneliness doesn't stand a chance. Because how can you ever be lonely when you are deeply connected to the most important person in your life? You. So don't fear solitude. Master it. Embrace it. Grow through it. Because in the end, it is not something that separates you from the world. It is something that brings you closer to who you really are. And when you finally understand that, you won't just be okay with being alone. You will be at peace with it. And that peace is more powerful than anything the world can ever give you.